Welcome to Lynn's Hustle and Lifestyle Talk Show. This isn't just a podcast. Like I said, it's a talk show for all of you hustlers making your hustle your lifestyle in Memphis. I'm Lynn. Most of you know me as Brandy Lynn PR of Brandy Lynn Public Relations, and I'm also a former radio personality. Let's jump into it. My first guest is Miss AyeshiA Apparel. She is everything. She is a dynamic fashion designer here in Memphis, Tennessee. Miss AyeshiA Smith is a visionary, self-taught fashion designer and the creative force behind the bold and expressive brand AyeshiA. Designing since the age of 13, AyeshiA transforms fabric into statements of power, femininity, and individuality. Through AyeshiA, she offers both custom, couture, and curated ready-to-wear pieces that blends artistry with accessibility. She has previously showcased her work at New York Fashion Week and continues to grow her brand with the plans to return to the runway in the near future. Welcome to the show, AyeshiA. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for having me.
Happy to have you here. So let's get started. So when did your fashion hustle become such a serious thing for you, or what influenced it?
Well, it became serious in 2013. That's when I actually started my business. But from an early age of like 5 or 6 years old, that is when I really got into fashion.
Oh, wow.
And I was intrigued by like classic films and the fashions and those. So that is why when I was about 13, I decided to start sewing. Mm-hmm. And that's from there, it's the rest history.
A young lady, young age. Mm-hmm. But so far, what's the biggest moment in your fashion career that you're most proud of?
I'm most proud of New York Fashion Week for sure. That was a dream of mine when I was about 13. And I remember finding a letter where I was like, I'm going to do New York Fashion Week. Wow. So it was big. And then, COVID happened, so I was like, I don't know if this is gonna happen for me, but it happened.
I remember you telling me about that. Mm-hmm. So you really manifested New York Fashion Week.
Girl, yes.
And what other fashion weeks have you been a part of?
I've actually been a part of LA Fashion Week. I've done a lot of shows, Georgia, Memphis, of course, California, so kind of all over, and of course, New York.
A lot of people, they talk about Milan.
Oh, Paris.
Yeah,
I've actually been invited to do Paris Fashion Week. It's just so expensive. So I was like, once I, level up a little bit more, Paris, watch out.
Take me with you.
Of course,
yes.
Of course.
Yeah. So let's get into family just a little bit. I know some of your family. Yes. So how has your intermediate family helped shape your fashion hustle, or how have they helped push it?
Well, I would definitely say I got my first sewing machine when I was 13. My mom purchased that. She tricked me. We went to Hancock Fabrics, girl, and she was like, we're going to get your granny a sewing machine. And I was like, but I'm trying to sew. So what? And then she ended up Christmas Day. Yeah. She gave me the sewing machine. Girl, she tricked me.
That's a nice trick.
It was. And so that's how I got, into sewing. And then my dad, that's my baby. He got me my first industrial machine. Okay. So it helped me I can sew super, super fast with it and get a lot done.
What's the difference between industrial and a sewing machine?
Really, it's like you can do way more heavy duty stuff. Like I can make purses, I can make clothes. If you probably, it just depends on the different types of heads on those machines. But the one I use, is super, super fast.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Hey, shout out to Pop.
I know.
Shout out to Uncle Eddie.
I know.
Uncle Eddie isn't my real uncle, but that's Uncle Eddie.
But it's family.
Right. We family. Been knowing each other for years. So do you have any younger cousins or kids or mentees who want to get into the fashion industry because of you?
Well, actually, my son, my 9-year-old son.
A son?
Yes.
Okay.
He actually wants to sew. He told me that he's interested in learning how to sew because he was like, I want to make boy clothes. I was like, and we can do this.
Yes.
I'll make that happen.
Make money with it.
Yes. And my daughter, I taught her how to sew when she was like 7 years old. Mm-hmm. She actually was up there trying to make some pillows yesterday.
Really?
So she kind of dibble and dabble in it too. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, son. I know that'll make you very proud.
Yes, because he's fascinated. Like, he sits there and watches me do it, girl. He be over there rubbing my hair and talking to me, kissing on me.
That's so cute.
Yes, that's my baby.
Yes.
Both of them.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, we love them. But we know with life comes challenges.
Absolutely.
So have you ever felt like within your fashion career that you that it kind of took a turn for the worse or made you wanted to give up or take a break?
Well, of course, just, like life happening. It's been many times where I feel like, do I want to continue doing this? And whenever I pray about it, God always shows me an answer. Somebody will come to me, order will come through, people, inquire on things. And then I'm like, okay, Lord, you answer my prayer. Let me just keep pushing through. Because, it's expensive. And a lot of times, it's just a lot that go into it. And it can be discouraging, wanting to get as much exposure as possible. And then just making sure that you're networking with the right people. It's just, it's a lot of factors. I'm sure you understand.
Yeah. With any business owner, it comes with a lot. Like you said, the marketing part, doing your business, trying to keep that up. And also, if some people still have a 9-to-5,
right,
and kids, other stuff to worry about.
Yes.
So, I understand. I mean, I don't understand because I don't have any kids. But I
you
understand,
girl, like a whole family at home. You trying to cook, work, do your business. It's a lot.
Yes. I want to talk about your pieces.
Okay.
Let's talk about this pink dress over here.
Yes.
Let me know about that. And how long did it take you to make that? And I see the
gold chain.
Yeah. Where did you get that from?
So I actually got those gold chains from Hobby Lobby, I believe. But that dress, it didn't take me that long, maybe 2 hours, if that. The longest part with sewing to me, like the whole process, is getting the materials cut. If you're drafting a pattern and then cutting it out, that's the longest part. The sewing part is super fast.
You pushing it through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So how long does it take you to make like a prom dress, maybe?
So with the prom gown, typically between 8 and 10 hours is what it takes for me to get a prom dress made. It just depends on how detailed it is. A lot of times the prom gowns, like they're into the corset style dresses now, so I'm having to do create corsets. And, it's like requires boning and all these other things. It's a lot of elements to it. Yeah. But then it's like the beaded material. You got to hammer it.
Ooh,
and girl, I got to put goggles on and hammer and shake it off. And it's glass because they're glass beads. So it's like trying to make sure you be safe in the midst of it.
But this is your hustle.
It is.
It's your lifestyle. It's your
yes,
hustle,
and I enjoy it. It's therapeutic for me.
It's your purpose now.
It is.
Awesome. So what about when you're making like 2-piece swimsuits? How long does that take?
Maybe an hour. It just depends because I like a lot of gold chains. I actually like dealing with a lot of different metals. So it can take a little time with that, but it ain't too bad.
Where do you get those metals and chains from?
So I have vendors in LA, New York, Houston, Dallas. Girl, a little bit everywhere. North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah, and Shanda, both of us lived in Los Angeles before. I mean, I lived in LA. She lived in the Bay Area. So she would come down to, what was the area called?
The garment district. Well, not the fabric district.
The fashion district in LA, downtown LA. And we had a good time picking out
oh my God, yes.
Clothes.
It was an adventure.
It was. We had a great time with my homegirl, Acacia, when Shanda came out there. And I think it was a celebrity week, too. It was All-Star Weekend. All-Star Weekend.
Yes. Ooh. We had a blast.
We're not going to talk about it because we had too much fun.
We did. Oh my God, girl, we had so much fun.
Yeah, we saw a lot of celebrities and I missed it. But Shanda, AyeshiA, she also made me like a rose gold skirt.
Girl, it was holographic.
Ooh, it was so beautiful.
It was.
I lost weight, so I can't fit it anymore.
That's all right. I can do alteration, so I can take it in for you, honey.
Yay! Yes, I'm excited about that. So what other pieces do you have to show us today?
So I also brought like one of my best-selling tops. So it's chiffon sleeves. They got the gold chains in the middle. It has like a really nice movement to it, and it's velvet. I really like working with velvet. I just feel like it's luxurious, so that's like one of my favorite materials that I like to use.
Gotcha. Okay. So you kind of answered this in a way, but I want to know, when you start off designing your own pieces, does it start off with an idea or a concept or something you've seen? How does that start?
So a lot of times, it could be either like I have an idea strikes me. A lot of times, I get inspired just by looking at people. Like when I was in California, girl, I would go into San Francisco downtown and I would people watch, or I'll be over in Oakland. People watching because you kind of get ideas of different styles and stuff, and you be like, that's a different perspective on it. And then from there, I also like going to museums. That's very inspiring. So I do a lot of fashion exhibits. Like I actually visited one last year in Nashville, and it was a really, really good one. I don't know what, Alexander McQueen.
Oh yeah, we know Alexander McQueen.
And he was great with tailoring, and I just love the detail and things like that gets me motivated, and really my city as well. Like base my collections around, well, 2 collections I base it around Memphis.
Okay. Yeah, we from the M-Town. We gotta represent.
You gotta celebrate us.
Amen. So, what's the hardest thing about designing clothes? You told me about the hammering when you have to make prom dresses and everything. And what about dealing with clients when they want certain ideas? Is that hard sometimes?
Sometimes it can be challenging. It's just, you have to learn how to adapt to different personalities. And I feel like I do really well with that because I have a sales background. I worked in sales for 17 years. And so working with people, and you kind of just learn how, you can pick up on body language and things like that. And I do my best to, accommodate what they want. And I pray, and it's more than just sewing for me. So, I want to make sure that they're happy with what they get.
Do they ever get attitudes, or if you, with you?
Thank God I have not had, any bad clients.
Yeah, I mean, like, have you ever had to tell them, like, this is not for you, this material, or how does that work?
Yes, I have. But you have to present it to them in a way where they feel like, okay, she's not insulting me.
Yeah.
But, I'm realistic, and I do styling as well. So, I want to make sure that you look your absolute best and feel your most confident. So I'm going to be like, I feel like this may suit you a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
So, you got to be smooth with it.
Yeah, you got to talk to people smoothly because they think you got an attitude and they don't want to come back.
I know.
But what advice would you give to a younger person who wants to get into the fashion industry?
I would say go for it. Like, it's a really hard industry to get into, but I feel like if you create your own lane and you're not focused on like trying to, well, I'm not a trendy person. I like to just kind of do my own thing.
Yeah.
Just focus on it and just keep going. Like, just do it, try it. You're going to fail. You're going to do things wrong. I remember like making pieces and wasn't even able to get into it. But once you learn about materials, the different, like what's all in the material, if it's stretchy or not, then you kind of determine like if you're working with patterns or creating your own, you'll kind of figure out what to do. It's a lot of trial and error.
Does some people go to school for fashion, or like
Yes.
do they have that in colleges?
They do. I actually got accepted into FITM in LA, but it's just so expensive.
Yeah.
I think at that time, and that was years ago, it was like $80,000 for 2 years.
So like it's way more than that now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's way more now.
Yeah.
I would think so anyways.
Definitely.
But it's expensive.
Because tuition
But
goes
you definitely
up.
can do it. I mean, and that way you can learn the different techniques because
Right.
they teach you all of those things. And then it also puts you in contact with like networking with people that's already in the industry. So it's a lot of opportunity there. If you can afford it, go for it.
Go for it. You heard what she said. So what do you have coming up later this year or next year?
Well, I'm planning to do New York Fashion Week again.
When is that?
So I was planning to do this one in the fall because I actually like doing the fall shows better than the spring. Well, like doing it in the fall season, so it's September, but that's for spring.
Why?
I like bright, bold pieces.
Okay.
And so that's what really moved me. And, I feel like, spring is actually New Year. So that's when you want to, like I just want to come out with the new stuff then, but like, that's just, I like bold.
So you said you like to do it in the spring.
I actually like to do the shows in the fall because it's the weather is really nice there.
Okay.
And February, it's still cold and snow, and I don't do the snow too well.
And
so.
spring don't even start until March.
I
so
know.
why they have it in February?
Yep, girl. So I be like, let me come to the fall show.
Yeah.
New York be having really nice
makes
weather,
sense.
and I'm gonna drop this spring collection because
Yeah.
they preview it the year
Right.
before. So.
That makes sense.
And it gives you time to like figure out, what's the trend. And I be pretty good with like color trends.
Okay. Cool. So what's a motto or quote that you like to live by?
Well, for me, I would say I like to live by the saying I would say is, for me, you're gonna fail. It's just that you have to keep going. And if it's something that you're passionate about, just do it. Like, stay prayerful and be positive. And I'm big on, like, I'm very spiritual and I'm really big into manifesting things. And I feel like as long as you truly believe in yourself, it'll happen for you. It may not be when you thinking that it's gonna happen, but it'll happen.
Because he's always on time.
It'd be right on time. It'd be when
Yeah.
you least expecting it.
For sure.
But I feel like, through the failures or just getting things wrong and, you know, trial and error, that is where you build character. And that's what strengthens you. So we all have to go through that in order to get to the next level.
That's great advice. If you want to get into the fashion industry, remember what she just said, because that was some great advice. Not to hop into a different subject, but if you didn't make it into the fashion industry, what other industry would you be in?
You know, I actually want to do forensics.
No way.
Yes. Because I'm into crime shows. I love watching documentaries on crime. And so I'm really fascinated with it. But I was like, I don't think I could go into, you know, any type of crime scene and, you know, deal with the
body.
non-living.
Yes.
I'm like, no.
You can't take the pictures or nothing? The toe tag?
I don't know, because then I'm going to be dreaming about them. And So I was like, you know, I'm going to lean toward this fashion and see, you know, make it happen.
I don't know why she don't want to be a chef, because my girl be cooking.
Yes, I do.
She throws down.
I do. I love cooking. Now, my daughter actually going to go to culinary school.
Okay. Because I used to see the pictures that she posts on social media, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to come over her house.
Girl, you know you can come over and just hit me up.
Yeah.
Come on.
Post some more plates. I'll be over there. For real. With the quickness. I will drive that far, for some food. Come on, man.
Yeah, I got you.
But are you also into interior designing?
I am. I actually do a reupholstery. I also do like I make curtains, I do pillows, I can make comforter sets. Like I do all of it. Yeah. And I have a really good vendor that I use that, you know, you can get really different, unique prints from. And so whatever you want, I can create it.
Wow. All right. Yes, ma'am. So we're almost coming to a close, but not really. So like on this lifestyle and hustle talk show, not a podcast, I do like to talk about other things, not just the guests. I like to talk about things that's going on in the culture, maybe the hip hop culture. There's things that's going on in our society right now. So I want to talk about social media just a little bit.
Okay.
We use social media every day.
Yeah.
We use it for business. I use it to promote my PR clients. Some people post for leisure. Some people post for pleasure. But do you think social media is hindering us just a little bit, or even hindering kids?
I would definitely say, you know, it's hindering kids because that takes away time from them cultivating any other skills.
Ooh, yeah.
Because when you're consuming yourself on social media, you know, like that's taking away time that you could be crafting something. And then aside from that, it's like, it's not reality always. Yeah. So it's like, don't get so consumed with what social media, what you see on there, because in real life, it's not always like that. That's just, you know, they're on vacation or they at this event, but behind the scenes, you don't see the work that comes with it. Yeah. So, yeah.
And even, you know, we see people who are like so happy, so in love
Girl,
on social media. Totally. Sometimes it's totally fake.
And it do be a lot of, you know.
So, yeah, I understand what you're saying. It could be a hindrance to especially kids whose mind are not fully developed yet. Like, oh, I want to be like that. And they're trying their hardest to be something that's not even real.
Yeah. And I mean, it does affect adults too, because we're looking at it the same way. Like, wow, I may have started before this person, but they may already be at the level where you want them to be, but you don't know what they had to go through to get there.
Right.
So you know, you can't look at it and judge or base that on, you know, what you're seeing.
So what about, what do you think is the future of AI? And do you think people will lose their jobs because of AI?
You know, I love AI.
You do?
I do. I utilize it, you know, daily.
You do?
I do. I mean, I have crafted business proposals and everything. It's a good source to use. But I also see the negative side of it too, because I see that it is replacing jobs for people already. Yeah. And I feel like over time it will probably only get worse from that aspect. But it's just like, you know, with the internet and everything, it was created for good. But, you know, people misuse it.
So I see you're saying you're using AI for like maybe Chat GPT or
Girl, let me some Chat GPT.
Me too. I like Chat GPT too. But I'm asking as far as like videos and people.
Oh, girl, now them videos,
AI people that fake creation.
Now that's really bad, because I actually just came across a video where it was was like some people in a shopping mall, and it looked like the escalators collapsed on the people, and I was like, it said at the bottom, this is AI, and it looks so real.
It does.
So it does put a lot of misinformation out there to
Yeah.
people, and you know, like, if you're not aware, like a lot of older people, they may think that this real and it's actually not. So, you know, we may see it and we know like, oh, this just
Right.
AI, but they might not know. And
They panic and calling the news.
yeah, and then spread, you know,
Yeah.
spread misinformation, and there it go.
I hate it. I don't like
I don't
it.
like that part.
Me
of
neither.
it.
I was just
Yeah,
about to say, I don't like that part.
They can keep that.
For real. So we are coming to a close, and I do appreciate you for coming
Oh,
on the
thank
show
you for
today.
having me.
But so how can people reach you? What's your social media?
So my social media, you can go on Instagram. It's AyeshiA Apparel, and that's AyeshiA.APPAREL. And that's the same. I use the same tag for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, everything.
And how can they get in contact with you? DM or email?
So you can go on my website. You
Okay.
can go to AyeshiA.com, and that's AyeshiA.com. Or you can go to, you can email me at sales@AyeshiA.com, or you can hit me up on my DMs. I answer all, you know,
might as well.
yeah. If that's the easiest way to get to
Right.
me, but if you go to my bio, all my information is there too.
And like I said, she's a dynamic fashion designer. She, like she said, she also does interior designing, prom dresses, so many other things. And you'll be catching her fashion designs on the runway soon.
Yes.
So thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And come back after New York Fashion Week.
I sure will.
And tell us all
So we can talk about it, because it be
Yes.
so much chaos. Oh my God, behind the scenes, and then you get out there and you be like, who finally? Because it be so much stuff, you know, and it's like other designers back there, all the models, every makeup artist, all in one spot.
How many people or models do you take with you?
I don't normally take models with me. So with the packages that I be paying for to do these shows, they include the models. So I can go through like a digital book and pick out the models that I want, how I want their makeup, their hair, everything. And then when I show up, I mean, you know, like they had their measurements. So I make the pieces based on their measurements.
Never would have known. And on Lynn's Hustle and Lifestyle Talk Show, you're going to learn something new every episode. Thank you again for tuning in to Lynn's Hustle and Lifestyle Talk Show. And if you would like to be a guest on my talk show, you can email me for now at brandylynnpr@gmail.com. Until then, I'm signing off. See you next time.